I do this because there's nothing else I can do, really. I feel like I was just saying last night to someone that I'm always behind on a lot of things apart from the directing and the photography. I feel like I'm very comfortable with those things. I used to go for jobs during the summer and school and everything, but I could never get any jobs because I wasn't qualified. And then I just started to realize that I was so qualified with all these other things that I was doing that if I could spend some time, which I spent a while just not spending any money, like living at home, just trying to push for this. And it took years to like build up to where I am now, which is, obviously I was privileged to have somewhere to live and all of that, but it took a long time to build up the connections and the trust from people to do what I do. So I feel like there's nothing else that I would do. Portrait photography for me is, I think it's just a conversation. The technical aspects of photography, you have to try and make them go away. So the focus of the portrait shoot should not be what's happening on camera or with the flash or anything like that. You have to be so kind of adept at that, that's not even a factor in it. So it's just you and the person, and it's just about sort of connecting with someone else and then trying to record the time that we spent together. If I was to set out to try and capture a person fully, I think I'd go crazy. But I think what it is about just like making an image of how it was to be there. So that includes me and how our conversation went and kind of what the mood was like. And I think that is a part of who someone is, you know? Shane obviously was a little bit intimidating to go and photograph. He was watching a Western when I got in, and his wife Victoria was there, and she kind of brought me in, and I was obviously a little bit nervous, and he slagged me at one point, and I realized that what I had to do was kind of come back at him and sort of laugh at him, and I did that, and then he laughed, and that's how I kind of realized that this was like the way you had to play it. And after that moment, we got along pretty well. So, it was like, I had to just like try and put the nerves aside and just be like, this is just a person and this is the way that he communicates and this is his like kind of humor and you have to go with it, in that moment. But what I like about this one is that it's not like a lot of my photography is, I really like people's faces and I really like, being close up to someone. And I did a few pictures like that with him, but I really like how this is as much about his environment, because this was quite an important space where he spent a lot of his time, as much as it is about him. And for such a big character to put him maybe smaller in the frame, I think that's interesting to me anyway. And to see all of the objects and the different pieces that make up, him and his life, they're all in there, and it's about to go on show in the National Gallery, and we've printed it quite big with a really simple frame and quite close to the glass as well, so that you can see as much of the details as possible. I think that's important. It's always nice to have a picture go somewhere that feels a bit more substantial, as in this one and the Sinead O'Connor one, and have it be on the walls of a gallery like that, and have like a lot of people hopefully come and see it, is amazing. This was my first commission for the New York Times, who I had been in touch with a couple times years before, but I never thought anything would come of it. And they asked me if I was available in the coming weeks to do a portrait commission, and I got really excited. And they could only tell me who it was after I agreed. And so I said yes, obviously. And then they told me who it was. And I knew it was just like such a big opportunity. And obviously I was quite nervous, but I was just mainly very excited that I was being given a chance to do something this big. I was just like, what did they see in me that they thought I could do this? I do remember driving to the shoot. She was living out in Wicklow, like the far side of Wicklow, so it was a long drive. And I remember about like in the first half an hour or like 20 minutes of the drive, I started playing her second album, and I had to turn it off because she was like growing in my mind, like the myth was growing too much. So I had to listen to something else just to kind of calm that down. If I'm meeting someone who's of note, I'll just try and, just make them feel as kind of human as possible, because at the end of the day they are. And when I met her, she was very low key, and she made tea for us, and she was delighted when I said she could smoke in the pictures, because she said that the American publications never want that. So I think that helped. And then she just was just hilarious. She was really funny. I feel like my job was just to be there and just to do my part and just to be a person. I think the power of the photograph is through her eyes. I just had to not fuck it up. But yeah, then I entered it into the portrait prize in the National Gallery, and I got onto her managers, because you have to get the sitters' permission to enter it into the competition, and I had gotten her permission. And then about a month later, I had been selected for the prize. She passed away, which was insane. Like, none of us expected it. So I thought, I really just liked that fans of hers could come and see it, and could come and sort of connect with her. And to me, that was the most important thing. The gallery was actually playing Nothing Compares to You out into the gallery at certain times of the day, and people would just like go and look at her, which is mad. And I actually had no idea that they were doing that, but I thought it was really nice. I thought it was, testament to her. I do it because it's just a great job. Every day is different, and you get to work with amazing people. It's a very social job. Like with the portrait photography, you just meet the most amazing people, and you get to spend time with them, and you get ways into places that you wouldn't have otherwise. Yeah, I love it.